Sin, pride, and fear kills. Hi, my name is Keith. Welcome to My Daily Walk. My daily devotions take me this morning to the book of Matthew, chapter 14, verses 8 through 12. Prompted by her mother, she said, "Give me the head of John the Baptist here on a platter." And the king was sorry, but because of his oaths and his guests, he commanded it to be given. He sent and had John beheaded in the prison, and his head was brought on a platter and given to the girl, and she brought it to her mother. And his disciples came and took the body and buried it, and they went and told Jesus. We have a story here where we have sexual sin, we have pride, we have the fear of a woman, and we have the death of the forerunner to Jesus. And so when I say at the beginning that sin and fear and pride kills, this is a story that has all three of those in it. There's a book that I read several years ago called The Mortification of Sin. And basically John Owen says in that book, if we're not killing sin, then sin will be killing us. And that's my message today, is that as believers, we need to be killing sin on a daily basis. And today I want to talk about the sin of pride. I am in no way not prideful. I have my pride, I have my lack of humility that I have to deal with and struggle with. And so I understand when it comes to how pride can cause turmoil in one's life. And so I had a situation in my life several years ago that brought me to a place of great humility. And I think that the Lord really worked in my heart during that time. And it gave me an opportunity not just to see and identify the pride that I had, but to really work through that pride, to take it and to just give it to the Lord, to cry out to Him, and to ask Him to humble me and to remove my pride and to forgive me for the things that I had done and the offenses that it has caused other people. Psalm 51, 2 through 4 says this, "Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity and cleanse me from my sin. For I know my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Against you, you only, I have sinned and done what is evil in your sight, so that you are justified when you speak and blameless when you judge." The cry of David in this psalm is for God to create in him a clean heart. So rather than me today just hammering on the issue of sin and pride, I want to cry out to the Lord, and I want to say, Lord, create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit in me. Because identification of sin and pride actually is not all that hard. You know, we can point it out in others every day. We see the sin in someone's life and we think how horrible it looks in their life, but yet it looks just as bad in our life. So we need to identify that sin. But today my encouragement to you is to cry out to the Lord like David did in the Psalms and ask for Him to cleanse your heart, not just of pride, but of fear, of anxiety, of lack of joy, of frustrations. So if that's something that you're dealing with today, I just want to remind you that sin and pride is a killer. It's a family killer. It's a work and ministry killer. It's a relationship killer. Most of the times I've ever had a struggle with relationships, it was because of pride on one side or the other. And so I just encourage you today, lay that pride before the Lord. Ask Jesus to come into your heart, come into your life if you're not a believer, and just rid you of the sin of pride. It's like a disease that just eats away and eats away. And so as we come before the Lord, especially in this time and in this generation that we live in, God is asking for humble servants to come before Him, to humble Himself, and to cry out on behalf of those who don't know Him. And so that's what we should be doing today, is just come before the Lord humble. Cry out to Him to save your non-believing friends and relatives and neighbors. And let's just see where that leads us. Let's see if there's a transition, a change in the culture, a change in our own attitudes and in the churches. If we just humble ourselves before the Lord, cry out to Him in prayer and ask Him to do the work that we can't do on our own. So if you're encouraged by these today, I pray that you will subscribe to my channel, that you will share with your friends. If you need prayer as a ministry, Daily in Christ Ministries, we're here to pray for you. But most of all, today I pray that you will walk in humility and that you will live your life daily for Him. Have a great day.